Ladies and gentlemen, what did I say? What did I say? Manchester City literally came from a goal down from halftime. They were trailing at halftime by 2 goals to 1 against Newcastle United at St. James's Park, and guess what they just did? Exactly what Manchester City does, which is to come back and win the game and secure all 3 points. That's exactly what they did in this game against Newcastle United. They literally secured all 3 points. Literally. I mean, wow. And I guess who did it? Guys, the headline, KDB, Kevin De Bruyne. KDB, Kevin De Bruyne, the headline. Guys, Kevin De Bruyne, I'm not sure if you guys literally understand. Kevin De Bruyne. Wow. What a player. What a genius. This is a player who's intelligent. When you refer to a footballer who's intelligent, who's just a genius, who just knows what to do with the ball when he has the ball at his feet, you talk about Kevin De Bruyne. After 5 months out, it's like the guy was not even out. It's like you would assume that this man was not even out of play. He was not even out injured on the sidelines. The last time he featured for Manchester City in the Premier League was that 2-0 away victory at Burnley on the opening game of the season. That was the last time Kevin De Bruyne featured in the Premier League. Remember, he did feature in the FA Cup following that 5-0 victory over Huddersfield Town, and he did come up with an assist, for his fellow countryman, Jeremy Doku. Kevin De Bruyne, literally, what a return. What a return for Kevin De Bruyne, the brilliant Belgian. What a return. I mean, let's just get straight into it. The second 45 minutes of the game. City came out guns blazing. It looked like it was just not about to be Manchester City's day. They had so many opportunities, forcing De Bruyne into making very wonderful saves. Julian Alvarez had his free kick saved. That was a brilliant free kick from the Argentine World Cup winner. Phil Foden also had an opportunity saved, as well as Kovacic's deflected effort was also saved once again by De Bruyne. De Bruyne, credit must go to the Newcastle goalkeeper. Remember, he is standing in for the injured Nick Pope. Remember, not so long ago, a few seasons ago, De Bruyne was Newcastle's #1 goalkeeper, right? Before Nick Pope did arrive, who's currently who's challenging for that #1 position at the England national team, which is perhaps Jordan Pickford of Everton. De Bruyne made wonderful saves to keep the Magpies in the lead, but Hey, guess what happened? Newcastle did not even have a single shot at goal in the second half. That's how Manchester City came out guns blazing. They made sure that Newcastle don't even get an opportunity, a sniff at goal. They don't even get a sniff at hitting them on the counter-attack. Because we didn't really see much of that in the second half from the Magpies. I guess the Magpies, their game plan was just to park the bus for the rest of the 45 minutes. But to be honest, when you're playing against Manchester City, it's never advisable to do so. It's never advisable to do so. To park the bus against Manchester City with a 1-goal advantage, it's never advisable to do so. You gotta always at least try to match them, at least try to, have as much possession as you can and do something productive. Even if it's not going to be easy, it's easier said than done when you're playing against Manchester City. But, with the goal advantage, you can't just park the bus for the entire second half against a team like Manchester City's quality. Eventually, the quality, the amount of quality that Manchester City have in their ranks, it's pretty much very difficult for you just to hold on to a 1-goal advantage for an entire 45 minutes. Kovacic, when I looked at his second half performance, it was becoming a commonality. That combination between him and Rodri in the middle of the park, as well as Kovacic being able to find those passes, those defense splitting passes, especially for Foden, because Foden was always in that attacking number 10 role, and Kovacic was able to always pick him out. You understand? Regardless of in between several Newcastle players, Kovacic was always able to pick out the pass and find Foden. Same thing with Rodri. It was those defense splitting passes that actually proved to be pivotal for Manchester City in terms of them securing all 3 points. Or nonetheless, they were able to create some half chances here and there, but they were not able to capitalize. I mean, they could have gotten the equalizer, through Julian Alvarez, a man who has been on fine form. You would expect him to put the ball in the back of the net. That's exactly what and guess who was involved? It was Kevin De Bruyne. That was literally just coming off the bench already. He was involved in the thick of things. First, it was from the free kick. Unfortunately, hit the wall. Great defensive, great defensive resilience displayed by the home side, the Magpies. To actually keep Manchester City at bay for as much as more than 20 minutes of the second half. They were still able to keep Manchester City at bay. But we all knew that there was going to be an eventuality when, if Kevin De Bruyne does make his way onto the field of play, things are going to change. And that's exactly what we saw. KDB literally changed the game. He literally did. Setting up Julian Alvarez, but Julian Alvarez should have put that ball in the back of the net. Nevertheless, despite not even putting it in the back of the net, the Argentine should be hitting the target from there. He was supposed to hit the target from there. But I guess it was one of those days where you were like, okay, fine, Manchester City, it might not be their day. Perhaps they might not get that goal, that equalizer, right? Because due to the fact that, look, they were always on the go. They were always on the attack. They were always pressing their opponents. It's just that final pass, at times they also lacked that killer instinct, particularly Doku. But I guess, credit must go to Kieran Trippier, who's actually redeeming himself, after, he has had a horror, past few games, especially in the League Cup quarterfinal against Chelsea, even against Everton. He hasn't really been at his best. But look, this was a quest for redemption for Kieran Trippier, and he did put in a wonderful shift, a massive shift, to actually deny Doku any sort of breathing room. It was an interesting battle between them, both of them, right? And it was also another interesting battle between Anthony Gordon as well as Kyle Walker on the other side for on the right hand side of Manchester City's defense. And guess what, guys, ladies and gentlemen, the goal eventually came in the 73rd minute. Who else could it be? We all know the answer to that. Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne. So how it was actually, that was great play from Manchester City. Superb play. Interchanging play between Kovacic. Once again, Kovacic linking up with Rodri. You understand? Setting up Kevin De Bruyne. Again, Kevin De Bruyne finding himself. That was another defense splitting pass. You understand? You could see two of Newcastle's midfielders were trying to close down Rodri, but Rodri is a very intelligent player. He just knows how to pick a pass, even under pressure. And that's exactly what he did. That was literally a defense splitting pass to set up the Belgian on his horse. And the Belgian, with so much work, he still had a lot of work to do. But he cleverly passed the ball into the back of the net, into the bottom corner. Like literally, he just literally passed the ball into the back of the net. He didn't even take a shot. He didn't even hit it with full laces. He didn't even do anything complicated. He just literally passed the ball into the back of the net. That was genius from Kevin De Bruyne. Just genius. Absolute genius, to say the least, ladies and gentlemen. And that's just the quality that this man possesses. On any given day, you just realize that this is exactly what Manchester City have been missing. They've been missing out on the genius of this brilliant Belgian midfielder. Literally passing the ball into the back of the net. It went through the legs of the Newcastle defender and finally all the way into the bottom left corner of the goal. What a brilliant goal that was. And then from that point on, his game was open, but still, Newcastle was still struggling. You understand? They were still struggling to create much of an opening. If you think about it, what you would also, note from this game is that it tells you about the individual brilliance of Kevin De Bruyne. How literally one man can just change the entire game. You understand? The game can just change within a split matter of seconds or minutes. And that's exactly what we saw in this encounter. So, again, City, just when you thought this game was going to end in a 2-2 draw, guess what happened? Kevin De Bruyne, another defense-splitting pass. You know, Kieran Trippier, you can't blame him. There was nothing he could do with that one. He had such a great game, but there was nothing he could do. Nothing at all. What a pass. What a through pass from Kevin De Bruyne. Absolutely brilliant. Maestro. Setting up, wow, Bobb. Oscar Bobb. The 21-year-old Norwegian scoring his first Premier League goal. That kid can play. Oscar Bobb can literally play. You know, just rounding off the Prevka. And he had to be quick. He literally had to be quick. Right? He timed his run absolutely perfectly. You know, after that great pass from Kevin De Bruyne. Again, Oscar Bobb. Right position, right time, great timing. Rounding the goalkeeper. Fast feet, quick feet. Getting the winning goal for City. Right? Getting his first Premier League goal. And what a way to score your first Premier League goal. What a way at St. James's Park, winning goal. And this could actually be a telling point in the title race. This could be a pivotal moment in the title race. So, look, the result sees City move to 43 points. Second on the table, just 2 points behind log leaders Liverpool. What a comeback by City, man. You know, just when you thought they were out of it, now it seems like they're coming back. It's exactly the Manchester City that we know. And as for Newcastle United, they remain in 10th position. You know, they remain in 10th position with 29 points. And this is now basically their 6th defeat in their last 7 Premier League games. Newcastle played so well in this game, first half, but second half they were nowhere near their first half performance. This is like now their 10th league defeat this season. Their 10th league defeat this season. Wow. Brilliant. That was a brilliant game of Premier League football, ladies and gentlemen. A pretty great, game of Premier League football to watch. Absolutely marvelous. Marvelous.